Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another workout. And today was Dynamic Effort Bench Press Day. We went with the Buffalo bar, and I think I'm going to stick with this for a while. And my first set, I went just a little bit wider because I need to focus on getting that extra range of motion, that deeper stretch on the chest. And I feel like my speed days like this is a good day to work on that because, again, we already are dealing with the overspeed eccentrics, we're dealing with the stretch reflex. And so again, the Buffalo bar I think is going to be the way to go on this for a while at least because I need extra chest development and that will give me that stretch I need at the bottom. So everything's good there. For those curious, this is 45%. I didn't go with 50% because I feel like I struggle with explosiveness on the bench. And so the normal waves of 50, 55, 60 might be a little bit too heavy for me. A little bit too heavy for me for speed work. Because even then, I've had some people say, "Are you sure that's fast enough for speed work?" It's like, guys, that's about as fast as I can push it. If I take another 50 pounds off the bar, my bar speed doesn't go up. Okay, so I'm not going to get any benefits from going lighter. I just have to keep working on speed. I don't have phenomenal speed strength with my benching. I don't have great speed strength. Like that is literally as fast as I can explode, especially with the wider grip. So, why do I need speed work? Well, that's exactly why. It's exactly why. I need that extra explosiveness, especially when I go wide. Like I'm more explosive with a narrower grip. And that's one of the things that was noted before. Some people said, "Oh, you're decently explosive on close grip benches." I was at one time. But when I do the wider stuff like that, I'm not. And I think it could be the case. I could be wrong. Maybe my triceps are more explosive than my chest. So how do we remedy that? Well, we got to do speed work. We have to do it. I'm going to have to do it with both bands and with chains, back and forth in the normal waves. So what we're going to do 45, 50, 55 is probably going to be my percentages, and then 25% chain tension. And then we'll go back to bands after a 3-week wave. But again, I've got to focus on the speed. And I get faster as I go. The first few sets, they're possibly slow because my nervous system is getting used to it, and they're possibly slow because of the wider grip. But I have to do the wide grip stuff too. We have to do it. See, it gets faster as I go. It gets faster as I go. But again, it gets hard to tell. It's difficult to tell if it's my grip. And since I haven't looked at the footage yet, not this set, but the next one when we get to the really close grip, I think that'll be telling. That'll tell us a lot about what's going on with it and where I'm at, and we'll get an idea of what's going on. But, I was a bit fatigued today also. Again, end of the training week, and we go to just GPP work and ab work and stuff on the weekends. So, again, I could feel kind of fatigued today. It's all kind of mounting up. All right, this set I'll watch, and I'll see what the speed looks like here, because this is going to be a little bit closer. It's going to be my close grip. And if this is fast, because it shouldn't be, because it's the longest range of motion. So if we get good speed here, this tells us a lot. It's okay. It's not super fast. So, all I can do is keep working on it. Keep working on it. Do my max work. Do the speed work. Do the floor presses. Keep working everything, and it will get better. I'm just not a super explosive bencher. Just not. Doesn't mean I can't be. Just means that we have to work on it. We have to work on the things that we're worst at. Right? We have to work on the things that we're worst at. If we're strong, we should work on explosiveness, and if we're explosive, we should work on getting stronger usually. Because we need the best of both worlds. We need everything. So we did the 9 sets today, 9x5. And then I went to the standing press with the football bar. It's still awkward. It's still hard. And I managed to squeeze out 4 sets today instead of 3 because I need to increase volume because I feel like I'm pretty much at limit weight for sets of 8 with it because I got a plate on each side. And yeah, I know that's not that heavy. People are going to be like, it's only 135. We know that you overhead press like 225 strict. Yeah, but this is a football bar. And what people need to remember when you look at different people do stuff with specialty bars, I had someone mention to me, it wasn't Boogs doing that. Yeah, he does, but the only clip I ever saw of him doing it was that one where he did the push press. And that was out of the rack with a push. All right, that's a totally different beast. I'm not saying it's not similar, And I'm not saying it's not useful, because it is. It develops maximum strength and power. It's good for that. It's a useful max effort thing that he did. But when you're doing it from a dead stop off your chest for rep work, this thing is stupid hard. This thing is stupid hard. Like, this is harder than a barbell. Not only is it harder than a barbell, though, but in terms of just feeling my upper chest and stuff, because of the way you have to lay back on it, you know that feeling you get when you do an incline bench and you do pauses at the bottom? It's that same feeling. So really, I'm getting a lot of the benefits of doing a standing press and an incline both out of it. And yeah, I'm forced to use a little bit lighter of a weight. It's a difficult lift. It's an awkward lift. But you talk about just really feeling that deep fatigue and really working some areas in my chest and shoulder girdle that didn't feel like they've really been hit much lately. It does the trick. Like, this is a valuable exercise. And it's just so hard. Right? It's hard, it's awkward, it's difficult. This is not like the normal press. The standing press is hard enough. A lot of people think it's awkward till you get good at it. This is like relearning that all over again. Right? It's like relearning it over again. It's a great lift, though. It's a great lift, but I mean, it's one of those, it will check your ego, especially if you're doing it strict and you're having to try to lay back to get it started. And there's just no way around it, because as you lay back, the bar gets pulled further forward, and then you get pulled further out of your bar path. And so it just feels like any way that you fight this weight, it's awkward, it's difficult, it's hard to stay balanced, and it just feels so heavy. But that's a good thing. It's heavy in a good way. One of the things I always tell you guys is that sometimes getting really strong at awkward lifts builds its own unique form of strength. It's a reason things like box squats and floor presses and deficit deadlifts and stuff like that, there's a reason they build a unique kind of strength. Right? They build their own unique type of strength. I feel like the football bar strict press is in that same category. It's in that same category. It's hard to move any even moderate weight. First set on these were a little bit weak. I was kind of getting into my groove. I'm really struggling trying to wrap the bar, find things to wrap around that barbell that don't let it hit the bottom of the bench really hard, the metal on the bench, because I don't want to destroy my equipment. But I want to be explosive. But I stopped at 7 sets of these. I was doing fairly short breaks because I'm just trying to get volume and metabolic fatigue. These start to get taxing really, really fast. First, like 2 sets, 3 sets are not bad. But just taking a minute or two between sets, like I start accumulating fatigue really, really quick, especially when you're doing volume with something like this, a strict row. And I'm using that medium grip right now. I'll eventually go to the wider grip, but right now I'm just trying to get that little bit of extra range of motion from that. But it's working. I do feel my back. I feel my biceps. I feel my rear delts, all those things that I need to work. They're getting worked effectively here, but I'm doing it without any extra stress on my lower back. My lower back has all I can handle. Yeah, I'm doing the standing presses a little bit, but my lower back is getting crampy when I bench. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I deadlift in Good Morning the day before first, and then I arch on my bench. My lower back just gets so fatigued that it needs the break. I've got to do the chest supported rows, and that's fine because they work. I feel these in my back. I get a deep burn in my back, my biceps, everything else. They're doing what I need them to do. But 7 sets of 10 was about all I was good for today, and it should get the job done. If I need to, I'll do a couple of band curls or something later just to make sure my biceps get work. But I'm at a point to where I feel like just using all my back work to build my biceps. I haven't done any curls for just a little while. People are still saying, oh man, your biceps look bigger, like in my t-shirt, and I'm getting the veins in them. Honestly, I feel like right now I'm getting enough bicep work with the pull-ups and stuff. And I'm not saying I don't occasionally just grab a set of bands and do just a little bit of work for some blood flow, because I do. But I'd rather focus on my triceps these days. And I'm getting plenty of brachialis and radial brachialis and bicep, especially now that I've added pull-ups back in and I'm doing a decent amount of volume on them. I just don't feel like doing any bicep work. Don't feel like it. I don't feel like dealing with the extra inflammation, detracting from all my rowing and pulling, and I would rather put a lot more effort into my triceps, which is what you guys are seeing me do. And that's what I'm going to do next. I wanted to try some JM presses again. And one of the things I didn't like with the JM press is that they did start to accumulate a little bit of like feeling like inflammation around my tendons. But I've realized also that with chains, I can probably eliminate that. So I decided to try them with chains today, just like I've been doing chains for my skull crushers. And it's different. It creates a unique effect. And that's some of what I need to do. Again, I need to be getting tricep dominant exercises, but I need more chest. I need all that stuff. So if I can find a good multi-joint exercise like this, and I can get lots of tricep activation without beating up my tendons, I think that's the way to go. And I just did 3 sets of 12 to start on these today. And for those curious, as far as chain weight goes on each side, that is, I believe, 28 pounds of chains on each side. Right? I'm doing the math right. So, you know, I'm talking about 56 pounds of chain. Not an enormous amount, but it's definitely noticeable at the lockout. Enough that I was really feeling my triceps. Because we did a lot of pressing. We did 9 sets of speed bench and then 4 sets of overhead press. That's a decent amount of tricep work. I really just want to make sure that I get in there and finish those triceps. I need to make sure I do some tricep specific work on every upper body day, because I don't want them to not keep growing. I need my triceps to keep growing. They are one of the weak links in my pressing. I mean, obviously I need more chest also. I need more pectoral, more tricep. So I need to keep them growing, and I want to just use varied exercises to do that, and things that work and things that put a lot of tension on them without inflaming the connective tissue. So this is helping get it done. So 3 by 12 to finish up. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.